Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and Joel.
Okay, this is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Jester Joel.
Hey guys, what's up?
And Kamikaze Katrina.
Wow! Watch out.
Okay, so we are here for another Halloween-themed review. This one's much better than our last one, Halloween Ends.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, Halloween
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Wait, what? Joel?
No. Gotta keep the viewers on their toes. Come on now.
Okay. So we'll see what Joel thinks of Terrifier 2 from 2022. Joel, who is in it?
All right. So this one stars David Howard Thornton. He is Art.
He is our best friend.
He is, yeah. He is definitely.
I talked to him on the rig.
We've got, yeah. We got an episode with that guy, so and hopefully another one coming soon. Yeah. Hopefully. He was in the Dark Offerings. From like a couple years ago. He is gonna be in the Mean One as the Grinch himself.
Yeah.
In a slasher Grinch movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It comes out this year, I think.
Yeah, it comes out at the end of this year.
Yeah.
And Night of the Living Dead 2, a 2023 movie. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Night of the Living Dead 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm assuming it continues from the original Night of the Living Dead. So, yeah, we'll see.
Like 60 years in the making?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then we got Laura Lavera. She is Sienna. She was in Under the Flowers, Circle of Hell.
Wow.
A Taste of Christmas. Gotta go back to those like Hallmark Christmas movies there.
Oh, okay.
And The Fetus, which is in post-production.
Wow! I like how you said it too. The Fetus.
The Fetus. I'm assuming it's going to be a horror movie, so I got to say it like that.
Yeah.
And then we got Elliot Fulham. He plays Jonathan, Sienna's brother. He was in an episode of a show called Instinct, an episode of a show called The Other Two, and he's in a show called Get Rolling with Otis, which he's in 18 episodes of. Which apparently is an Apple TV like kids show.
Oh,
and
okay.
He's got a YouTube channel where he has interviews with people like James Hetfield, Ice-T.
Wow.
And Gatton Matarazzo, who's Dustin from Stranger Things.
Okay.
So,
wow,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He's doing it.
Yeah. This was written and directed by Damien Leone. He wrote Leone. Yeah. Leone. He wrote and directed The Ninth Circle, which was a short, All Hallows Eve, and Frankenstein versus the Mummy. So.
Okay. Cool. And Terrifier, of course.
And Terrifier. Yes.
All right. So after being resurrected by a sinister entity, Art the Clown returns to the timid town of Miles County, where he targets a teenage girl and her younger brother on Halloween night.
Oh, man.
All right. So, since, I don't know when I'm going to post this. I want to try to post it in the next couple of days. Since it's not out on streaming as we are recording this, it's still in theaters only. Let's try to stay away from spoilers until the end.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah, just because it's limited right now. I mean, it's getting into a lot of theaters, but it's still limited. So,
Yep.
All right. So let's talk about our expectations first going into this. Kind of what we thought we were getting into. Katrina, what did you? What were you anticipating?
Okay. So I originally was like, no way, I'm not seeing this in theater.
Right.
I thought that's why you're... I was like, okay, Terrifier was crazy. I loved it, but it was crazy. And it was like crazy people would want to see another one of these, you know? And to see
An hour
it
longer,
in theater. Yeah. And to see it in theater, it's like I was expecting like a theater full of psychos, like people dressed up and ready to kill. And
This isn't Scream 2. Come on.
and so
She was legit concerned.
I was really scared to go. And then last minute, I was like, oh man, we had watched Terrifier again at home and got all pumped up. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go. But we need to be careful and keep our eyes out. And so then I'm expecting like just crazy, just next level kills.
Yeah.
Like just crazy, gruesome ridiculousness.
Okay.
And I'll
Is
leave
that
it at that.
All
I'll
right.
leave it at that for now.
Did it live up to those expectations? Find out later.
Yeah.
With Katrina's thoughts.
Joel, what were you anticipating coming in?
So I watched this movie recently. It about a month into it actually being in theaters, or almost a month. And so I had heard from a lot of people that it's crazy, it's insane. There's the headlines about how it made people pass out and throw up and all that ridiculous stuff in the theaters. So I was like, okay, this is going to be intense. But they've said stuff like that about movies in the past. And I was just like, this is stupid. All right. They said things like that about like Paranormal Activity. Like, no.
Didn't they say stuff like that with Blair Witch too?
Yeah.
But I think that was more for the like motion sickness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and because we all thought it was like
real.
Yeah.
It was on the news and everything. Like,
Which we did an episode on that, right?
Yeah, we did an episode.
Yeah.
You guys did. Yeah, I don't think I was.
Oh, I thought that you were. Oh, okay.
No.
That was like when
Sorry, Joel.
COVID
Which I'm fine with. I'm not a fan of that movie, so.
Oh,
totally
man.
fine.
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not. Never
Listen to our
happened.
episode and you'll hear if I am.
Yeah. So I really liked the first Terrifier movie. The first time I watched it, the acting was not the best. It took a couple of times before the acting just didn't bother me at all. But now I really like that movie. Yeah.
Okay.
And so going into this one, like I knew it was going to be an hour longer, which is crazy for a slasher movie to be almost 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
But the more art, the better. So I was totally fine with that. And this was definitely, it didn't surpass expectations, but it definitely met them for me.
Okay. All right.
So
for me, I've been looking forward to this since, it was supposed to come out in 2020.
I was going to say for like, 2 years?
Couple of years.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out in 2020. I had heard about it before that. So I was looking forward to it back then. I think we actually got like a little mini trailer in 2020.
Yeah, I think we did.
And with like some of the like third act, like big fight at the end. And so I was like pumped for it then. I've been looking forward to it. My anticipation was a lot of kills, a lot of art, and just kind of Terrifier, but like just to further extremes.
Yeah.
That was kind of all I was going in, wanting and expecting. And so we'll see what we got. So, I will say this is my favorite movie of the year so far, which we don't have much time left in the year. So
Yeah.
No, we don't. We got like 2 months left.
yeah,
So
and I don't see anything on the horizon that's gonna top it, at least for me.
Hey,
so,
I mean,
the
the
mean
Grinch.
one might.
Yeah.
the main
Yeah.
one, yeah. The main one, maybe if that
Joel and I are really looking forward to that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, Art himself is going to be the Grinch, so of course I am. I'm like, that's
great casting.
Will he be
It
better
is.
than Jim Carrey?
Yeah. And is
Well,
he going
Jim
to
Carrey is not a psycho killer in that version. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Is he gonna have lines? Because we haven't seen a movie with him that he's actually spoken. So
Yeah. That's part of acting
he-
too, you know. So,
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
I mean-
yeah. Well,
he doesn't. You saying?
Go ahead, Joel.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say with Art, like even though he doesn't talk, it's all in his face, his facial expressions and everything. He does a really good job with that. So
That's what I was gonna say, Joel.
Yeah.
Yes, he is, and I took a mime class, and so that is skills. There is skill in that.
Yeah.
He is good.
Yeah.
yeah.
He
He didn't either. I'm pretty sure in our
No, he
interview he
didn't.
never took a mime class. So
no.
that's
He's not
that's
like
all from
trained
him.
in that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he from what he said, I want to say he had like a mentor when he was in a play or something who really helped him with this style of acting, like the body language and stuff. Which, you know, you can go back and listen to our episode with him. He talks about it a little bit. But yeah, he of course is great in this. There's more of him, being that it's longer.
Better be with it being
yeah.
an hour longer.
I think there's more kills. Pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
In this one than
Yeah.
in the first one. And a more story.
Yeah.
A lot more story.
I didn't know if we were getting there yet. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we can just talk about whatever. Just don't spoil it
Okay.
until the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot more story. More character development. Like, a lot of character development, actually.
Yeah.
To the point of, like, I'm excited to see what's going to happen next
Oh
with
my
these
gosh.
characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it definitely set it up for, okay, there's definitely time for not just Terrifier 3, but like
Yeah.
a
Can
full
really expand it.
Full
Yeah.
franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of... And some people had issue with this, that there's a lot of plot that doesn't get... Well, I don't know if it doesn't get resolved, but, like, there's questions that don't get answered. So,
Yeah. Well-
about, like, certain characters and maybe their backstory and, you know,
But
some of
that's
that.
to come.
Yeah.
And if
that's
you
kinda how I
watch the
took it.
interview at the end of the movie,
Yeah.
then you'll know that.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you've seen it in theaters, there is, after the credits, like a 10-minute little, like, interview from, I think it's Bloody Disgusting does the interview with Damian Leone and David Howard Thornton. And they talk about that. How there's more on the way.
More to come.
So yeah, some people had issue with the fact that there's a lot of questions that are still left to be answered about, like, backstories of characters and how this came to be like this and, you know, different things like that. What do you guys think of that?
I'm glad that they didn't answer everything. I was like, oh, who's gonna go first?
I know. I heard you breathe, so I left it for you.
Oh, thank you. I mean, if you had answered all of the questions that this movie had, then there wouldn't really be a anywhere for this franchise to go.
Yeah.
I mean, I think all horror, like any movie that knows that they're going to continue on with a franchise is going to leave unanswered questions.
Yeah.
Because it makes no sense on the writer's point of view to, close out all the questions, like just completely ends this movie. And then, because, like, where are they going to go with the next movie? Like, you have to leave some stuff open for future movies. And so I didn't have a problem with the unanswered questions that they had for this movie. Because that just means we're getting more art. So, more Terrifier movies. So I'm totally on board with, Terrifier 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come on, let's... as long as David is art for all of them, then, yeah. If he ever wants to leave the franchise, then they need to just end it because no one else can do this.
Well, or bring Corey in.
Well, yeah.
I was like, who's Corey?
Bring in Corey from Halloween Ends. And, he can fill in for Art.
Yeah, he'll beat Art up and end it.
Yeah, take his costume. Take his home.
But yeah, I agree, Joel. I think that the way they left it hanging, I don't feel like they left anything like hanging to the point where you're like, okay, you didn't have any direction or you didn't have any like they didn't leave it where it was like, okay, they clearly didn't know where they were going or what the story was.
Yeah, you can kind of see that there is a plan.
Yeah, there's a plan. There's clear direction of who each character is, what their story is, and how it all ties together. Yeah. Like there's there's direction in the entire thing. Yeah. So that's where I'm okay with them leaving it open like that. Yeah. There's other movies we've seen this year that I'm like, dude, they had like 20 different storylines that they were going with and never finished any of it. Yeah. Like they clearly didn't know what the heck they were, where they chose to go with this.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I think, sometimes movies will not answer questions or leave things like on a cliffhanger and then, see how it goes. See if it gets picked up again to do a sequel. And then they're like, okay, now we have to figure this out. With the questions in this movie, it's more so like curiosity rather than questions. Because I'm not feeling like leaving like the movie like empty-handed. Like I feel like, okay, I just want to know more about the characters, because I'm invested in the characters now. I want to know more about them. I want to know why this or that happened. Yeah. How Art and these characters are connected, different things like that. I just want more information. Yeah. Rather than, that doesn't make sense. Like, why did that happen? You need to explain that. Yeah. It's more so like, okay, I want to just know more.
Well, and sometimes movies that are done well, leave you with this, oh, it could mean this, or did it mean that? And it's like this fun curiosity instead of this like, what were we even supposed to get out of that? There's some movies that leave you with that frustration, but this was a different experience.
Yeah, it wasn't a frustration, I didn't feel like. And I think, whenever Terrifier 3 is, getting close to coming out, I think we'll have a great, fun episode of predictions.
Oh, yeah. That'll be a fun one to do for sure. Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't take as long to get that one out that this one did, but
as long as there's no pandemic.
There was a pandemic in the middle of that, so
which they used to their advantage. Yeah. Where other movies that came out this year didn't seem to use that to their advantage. Well, and Halloween. Yeah. They, instead of keeping with a good storyline, changed it into something.
Well, I think Halloween did originally have a completely different story in mind, but
yeah,
the pandemic kind of forced them to just kind of like second guess themselves and redo the script. So which don't do that, guys. Yeah. If you have a plan, just keep it. Don't second guess yourselves, because you know your instincts are usually correct most of the time. So let's just
all right. So what did you guys
philosophy of life?
Hakuna Matata.
Yeah. A life lesson from Joel.
Exactly. Don't ever second guess yourselves.
So what did you guys think of the kills in this? I think that's what everybody's going there for.
Yeah.
You know, especially people who went...
Start this one off.
Okay.
Okay.
Especially people who went, like, you know, because it was only supposed to be out for like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 4 weeks now in
theaters.
That's
crazy. It's passed over $6 million, which is insane on a $250,000 budget.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Wow. Yeah, so, you know, the people that came the first, you know, couple days it was out, like, that's what you're going for. That's kind of what you're
that's what Terrifier's known for.
Yeah. So, but what did we think?
Yeah.
So, Katrina.
Okay, so I went in thinking it was going to be crazy, and I loved them. Like, it's crazy because, like, I'm not one to love all this crazy kills and stuff, but
I'm so proud of you, because when we met, you were definitely not this way.
I know.
You have come such a long way.
I know. And it's crazy because, like, the thing with Terrifier that I love the kills with is that they don't use all this CGI.
Yeah.
Stuff. Mm-hmm. They don't do it computerized and everything. And so it's all like what is it called? Makeup stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Practical.
Effects. Yeah. The practical effects. And that makes it so much more fun.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely stuff that you can tell it's not real, but it makes it fun, and it's like so outlandish that it's crazy. And some of the stuff, I'm not going to give kills away, but oh my gosh, so much fun.
Yeah. All right, Joel, what do you think?
So yeah, I will definitely agree with that. There was definitely more kills in the first movie, which I did like a lot, and definitely practical, which I feel like if this gets picked up by a big studio, I have a feeling we're not going to continue to go that route, which I really hope doesn't happen. But you know, it's all about saving money with big studios. But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. That's why I was, you know, in the beginning I was trying to keep the audience on their toes. But I really did like this movie a lot. Yeah. And the kills, like art, I will say that there was one thing that I was a little disappointed in with this movie, which was that we didn't really get a scene in this movie like we did with the pizza place scene with art.
Well, I would disagree with that.
Well, there was that small little scene that was in like the Halloween shop. With Sienna. Like but it's just, I don't know. It could have been also because that was like the first time we really saw Art, and we didn't know what he was capable of in the first movie, which made it that much more creepy. Yeah. When, you know, that whole scene. So yeah, I mean, that's the...
Yeah, you're never going to recreate like the effectiveness of that scene once you've seen it, you know?
Yeah. But also in the, I mean, I don't know, maybe not the same, but like in the washroom.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a laundromat scene.
Yeah, the laundromat scene. And I feel like you got... I know. I'm aging over here. I couldn't think of the name. Anyway,
she was born in the 30s. It's okay.
Yeah, Art hangs up his clothes on the
on the
clothesline.
Anyway, he's like scrubbing on the little thing.
That would have been funny.
Oh, man.
That would have been funny.
But yeah, there's that scene, and then there's the scene in the like Halloween store that is reminiscent to the pizza place scene.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I know what you mean, Joel, because like now that we know about Art and we kind of know his gimmick, it's just not the same as first seeing him in that pizza place, and like it's scarier watching that.
Well, and
the stuff in this one.
Yeah, and the difference is that the town, like the people who see him, know him, know what he is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So before it was like he was nothing.
It was just like it's just a weirdo.
Just
this big bag of tricks. I love that he carries this huge garbage bag.
I know he still does
hefty.
it. Yep. Yeah,
like it looks so heavy.
Yeah,
like, finally see what's in it too. And
it's so funny. That scene is just the best.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah, that was intense. I think that kill was the scene he was talking about when he talked to us about how there was a scene that surpasses the whole hacksaw scene from the first movie.
Yeah.
That was the scene. Okay, I was like, oh, yeah, I can definitely see this being. But he said it was gonna be like 17 minutes long. No, it's not that long. But
yeah, I wouldn't say it was that.
But it was definitely like it
was
extensive. Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
It was pretty long.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When you think it's done, it's not done. We're going for a little more. He leaves and comes back, and but yeah, so. For me, the kills were incredible. They were what I really like about this one and the first one is the movie will kind of like creep you out and then kind of like gross you out, but then make you laugh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, okay, this guy's creepy, then he's killing somebody, and then it's like grossing you out because of how far they take it. But then it's like it goes even further, and it's just funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then his facial expressions when he sees people, like, it's just like you can't.
I know
you can't be too mad at the guy. Like it's just,
he's like
he's just having fun.
And of course, all of his facial expressions and kind of like how he moves around and like he's like creeping around at times.
And when he gets like frustrated,
he gets
he's like shaking his head.
He kind of like prances and stuff. Like he does all these different things that really like it's perfect for the scene because like other movies where it's just gratuitous and just disturbing, like Rob
Texas
Zombie.
Or something,
like a Rob Zombie movie.
Yeah,
like that can just be like, okay, this is too much. Like even though they don't show nearly as much as Terrifier. It's just uncomfortable and disturbing and unsettling, and it's just like, okay, I'm ready for this to be done. Let's move on.
Yeah,
I compare. And it's not even long.
Yeah, no, yeah, this is definitely longer than. This is probably the longest slasher movie I think there's like ever been. Cause
it might be.
There's only so much that people can handle in a slasher movie because it's all like just the same over and over again. But I compare this movie for the blood and violence to like a Kill Bill movie where it's just it's so ridiculous and over the top that you can't really take it too seriously. It's just body parts getting like a Kill Bill movie, body parts get cut off and just like blood's like spraying everywhere, like so it's so over the top, but it's done purposefully that way. Like it's
I was thinking like Evil Dead too. Like how ridiculous that movie is, and like the over the top violence and stuff.
This one's better. But
Yeah.
for, if we're comparing sequels, this one's better.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, that's
yeah, so do you guys have any like issues or anything you wanted to kind of criticize, I guess, in the movie for a little bit before we get into our grade and then spoilers?
I guess it could have been shorter, slightly shorter than it was.
Yeah.
That final quote unquote battle at the end there, could have been a little shorter. There's some stuff that you could have trimmed the minutes of in this movie, but for the most part, it was pretty consistent. Like, it was consistent throughout the whole time. There was really no parts except for maybe the end that kind of dragged a little bit for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would probably say you could probably cut 5 to 10 minutes from this movie.
Yeah.
And it would have been like perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The acting's better in this movie than it was in the first movie too. Like, everything was just better.
Just a huge improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the thing, is we saw the movie twice now.
Yeah.
And the first time I didn't really notice, myself feeling like, okay, this is a little drawn out or anything.
Yeah.
But the second time seeing it, I was like, yeah, that was a pretty long last battle, battle royale or whatever.
Yeah.
And there were parts that it was like, okay, come on, let's get to it now. But I didn't notice that the first time I saw it.
Right.
And so I feel like the first time I saw it, I was totally sucked in, and it didn't matter to me how long it was. Yeah. It was just the second time I already knew what was going to happen. And and we went and saw it with our kids, which, oh my.
That's probably why you're like, let's speed up this. Let's get this going here.
Well, and I was excited for them to see a certain someone in the movie. And so I was like, come on, we gotta get to
yeah, the whole movie, we're waiting for this guy to show up.
Yeah.
When it got to the credits, I was like, did I miss it? Like,
I know.
I don't know.
Well, and my son was saying the exact same lines like that I said. Like,
is he here?
Is he here? Is he even coming? Guy? Did you lie to me? Yeah. So, I think, I don't know that there's any other complaint, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say that I was a huge fan of the very, very end part.
Okay. After
post credit scene.
Credits.
The post credits. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That part.
I love that part.
Usually with a post credit scene, it usually is like maybe a minute and a half long.
Yeah.
But that's another thing that could have been shortened, because it was like a 3-4 minute end credit scene. Like, that's a little long for like an end credit scene like that. But It could have been slightly shorter, that part as well for me. But
to me, that part was probably the scariest part, I think.
Really?
Yeah. It was probably the most disturbing to me, and like, I don't know, the way it all played out was like, oh man, this is creepy. Like, to me, that part did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. It was a little
creepy.
Yeah. Okay. It was a little extra off the wall that I was like,
and that like really like, okay, well, what's gonna happen now, because I don't know what I just saw. What the hell?
And it was confusing. When we get into spoilers, I can explain a little more why I was like, okay.
For me, same thing. That end could have been shorter. There was a lot of, oh, is it over? Oh, no, it's not over. Oh, I think it's over now. No, it's not over yet. There was a lot of that. That happened a few times. So it was like, it kind of overstayed its welcome a little bit with that. And then it was kind of funny, but I think a little unrealistic. Most of the adults
Unrealistic.
well, the acting. Yeah. Most of the adults were just pissed off the whole movie.
Oh my gosh.
Like they were just yelling at these kids like, dude, calm down.
Yeah.
So I thought that
But
was
was it most of the adults?
well, the adults, like the mother, the teacher.
There's a couple of them.
I don't know who the was like the principal or something. I would say them. They were probably the ones where I was like, dang,
Yeah.
chill out.
With the one character. And well, the two characters,
Just brother and sister.
the brother and sister.
Yeah. Their mom was a little.
But the other
extreme.
Adults in the movie that weren't dealing with them
Yeah, no, they were
weren't
fine.
like
Yeah.
that. It
Yeah.
was like the adults in their life was
Yeah.
like that, which I have a thought on. So,
Okay.
we'll talk about it.
All right, cool. Well, let's grade it.
All right.
So, Katrina, what are you thinking?
Man, I didn't think of grades, but
Okay.
this is definitely an A movie. I don't know. I'm going off the cuff, but I'm going to give it a 98 because
Okay.
I just love this
Oh,
movie.
wow.
Definitely my favorite
A
movie this
near
year.
perfect movie.
Yeah, near
If
perfect.
it was just a little shorter, and that end credit scene was, a
There's a
less
couple
off the wall,
things that
then
could
it could've been 100.
happen for it to get 100. Yeah.
All right.
cool.
I'm gonna give this one, I think, 94.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I really enjoyed this one too.
Yeah. So we've kind of talked about this in the last few episodes, but I rated my favorite movie, Halloween,
Yeah.
a 95 back when we reviewed it.
Oh.
So
So nothing can go above that. So he
I
kind
know.
of
and
he kind of screwed himself there.
I
right?
left
Like,
myself
as far
room
as-
just in case something does go above it.
Does this
wanna
not go above it?
I don't want to say that this is going to go above it, but I will put it right with it.
Oh,
So I'll
okay.
say
Oh,
a
wow.
95 for this one.
So Halloween was your favorite horror movie of all time. So
Yeah.
this is up
Yeah.
there with that. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I had
Nice.
so much fun with this. I will definitely watch this more than I will Halloween, most likely.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
It's way more fun to
Well,
watch.
yeah, I mean, how many times do you watch Halloween? Like, I'm sure at this point a
don't know.
bunch, and you've only seen this one like twice. So I mean,
Yeah.
at this point, you're probably like all Halloweened out.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm definitely
so
burnt out a little
you know,
bit. Until I
it's-
watch Halloween 5, which I'm going to have to do very soon here.
you're-
Yeah, and Halloween
How is
4
that
was
not your
pretty
number
killer.
one movie?
Yeah, I think that he doesn't realize it, but he likes Halloween 5 more than
More than the original.
the original for sure.
I have to look back on what grade I gave it.
You probably
Gotta
gave it
go
a
back on that.
96.
No, I think I put it in the 80s maybe somewhere.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're obsessed with that one. He watched it like 20 times last year.
No.
Oh, the
I
year
haven't
before.
seen it in a couple
The year
years.
before.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm excited to watch it again, but
Oh man.
all right, so
Joel,
90s
there
all
is
around.
someone running in your house.
I don't hear anything.
I'm
hear that?
moving.
No.
I'm
Let me
moving my
hear
chair
your-
back and forth, but
Oh, maybe that's it.
Here,
can
let me
you
listen.
seriously hear that? Because it's not even making a squeaking sound.
Oh, hold on, Joel. I can't hear anything now. I took my headphones
Okay.
out.
Do what you're doing.
I've been doing it for a little while now.
Yeah, I don't hear anything.
Okay, well, it's way quieter in these ones
I
than
know.
that one.
I know. I think we switched.
Okay, let me have mine back. I like mine better.
Okay.
Don't tell me that there's someone running in my house. I'm the only one here. So
But I think that it must
There's a-
be that.
a ghost. In
And
here
I
or
just have
something.
mega hearing.
Yeah. You probably have mega hearing.
Yeah.
You can hear the neighbors running around.
At like 12 o'clock at night. That's it.
It's like
It's
10.
only 10.
It's not even 10:30. It's not even 10:30.
All right, so let's talk about spoilers.
Okay, this is the time.
I'll put the horn in. And
Oh,
yeah, I put a
wow.
horn in post-production.
Wow.
Spoilers,
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, when you like listen to it back, it sounds pretty ridiculous with the horn because it's like so random, and we don't like say anything about it. It's just okay. We're gonna do spoilers, and this big horn goes off, and then we just keep talking.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
I was gonna do
giving
a whole
away our
announcement.
secrets.
All right. So, well, what was your favorite scene, Katrina? We'll talk about that, and we can just dive into the scene.
Okay, my favorite scene was at the Halloween shop.
Yeah.
And he's trying on the glasses.
Yeah.
Yes.
Every time she looks, he has a new pair of glasses on.
Yeah. That's what reminded me of the pizza. Because every time, what's her name? Jenna? Was that her name?
Sienna.
In the first one? No, in the first one.
In the first
Sienna
one.
is the second.
Yeah.
Something
I don't
like
remember
that,
her name.
I think.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Tara?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tara
There you
was
go.
one of them.
Yeah. So Tara, every time she looked at him in the pizza place, he had like a different expression.
Yeah.
And so in this one, it's at the Halloween store, and every time Sienna looks back at him, he's wearing different glasses, and he's like posed.
Yeah, posed with the glasses that go with the glasses he's wearing.
Yeah.
And then
they're just goofy glasses. And
Yeah.
And then
sunflower
when he's,
glasses.
Yeah.
Well, and the hand one, and he puts his hands out with it. It was so funny. And then in the same scene when he's buying the horn, and he's just slowly giving him each little dime at a time. Oh my gosh, so funny.
Well, first he's looking for his money.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna take all his stuff out of his bag.
Take everything out. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And so the part that made me laugh the most in the whole movie was when he's, counting his change, and he's putting the dollars down, and they're all bloody dollars, and he's putting them down. And then the guy, like the cashier, gets frustrated and kind of like pounds the desk or the counter or whatever, like, what the hell, or get out of here or whatever. And then he looks at him like all shocked, like his mouth open. Like,
open.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like, what? How dare you?
What did I do?
And then he hits him over the head with a bottle. So
yeah.
But yeah, I was dying during that scene. That scene was amazing.
And that, again, that's like an area where you could have really bad acting in that clerk part. Yeah. But the acting in this was so wonderful. Like, it wasn't fake. Yeah. It was like, and Danny was pointing out when I was telling him this, that it's partly the writing. Like, the writing, it wasn't like written lines. It was like genuine how you would react in a situation like that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I felt like, and I feel like with a lot of horror movies, dialogue can be like very like, I don't know, either cheesy or just like, who talks like that? Like, is this an actual conversation people have? Yeah. But throughout this movie, I felt like there was a lot of dialogue that just felt natural.
Yeah, it almost felt like it was like an improvised scene.
Yeah.
Where they just were like, hey, this is what the scene's gonna end with, and like look like this is what we're getting from it. You add your own lines to the situation. Yeah. It almost felt like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what they did.
Yeah, very well could have been that way too. So, but yeah, I do agree that the writing is a good part of whether or not an actor can deliver the lines correctly, and like, because sometimes it is the actor, but sometimes it is the way that the script is written that you're like, okay, that's some bad acting there. Like, like even A-list actors have been in movies where it's like, all right, I'm not buying that for a second, and that's it could be the character that they're portraying, and it could also be the writing as well. So, the writing in this was good. I did enjoy the writing in this movie.
Yeah,
like that, because it did seem honest and real.
Yeah.
For what the character would be going through at that point. So
yeah,
yeah. So we didn't get Joel's favorite.
Yeah, what's your favorite scene?
I do really like that scene because it is reminiscent of the pizza place scene in the first movie, which was my favorite scene in that movie. But since it's already been spoken for, Katrina, I'm gonna go with the kill that was reminiscent of the hacksaw scene in the first movie.
Yeah,
with Sienna's friend, and how intense and brutal that whole scene was, and the fact that she was still alive during all of it. Like how did blood loss not kill you alone? Like
they even like go to like another scene and then go back, and like, the mom comes in and sees her sitting there with like, I don't know, if she has
arms like limbs missing because he's like sawing limbs off, and she's still alive. Like, what? What?
She's like, Mom,
and she says,
That's a animatronic.
I could kind of tell that it was the way it was moving and stuff kind of felt a little like robotic to me, but it was still a good scene, like very intense and way over the top.
Yeah, when you think like he's done, then he comes back with bleach and like salt.
Yeah. Like, the salt and that was to me, that was probably the worst part of that death, because she's still alive and she's been cut up, and you're gonna pour salt on her body after that. Like that's another that's like a intense form of torture right there. So.
And then bleach and burns her all up.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that scene was crazy. so much. But what leads up to that, like what pisses him off so much, is that she wouldn't give him candy.
It was like, and then she's
giving
like,
him candy in the first place.
Yeah, and then she's like, oh, so if I give you candy, you'll go away? And he's like, like,
trick-or-treating, like, that's what you do.
Have you never trick-or-treated?
And he holds out his, like, huge bag, like, for her to put candy in it.
It's where you see all of his little, little tools of torture.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, I like all those scenes, and then I like the laundromat scene.
Yes, that's the other one I was going to say.
The washroom.
Yeah, the washroom.
The washroom. And the girl, when he, like, why? I don't know. The, like, tar diarrhea that she has to do.
I know.
When we first meet her.
Yeah. Like, what? Why?
It's like there's something about it that it's like, all right, buckle up, man.
It's like, okay, here we go. But yeah, he goes in there like after his whole like night of brutality from the first one. He needs to get his outfit washed.
Exactly.
It's like, what the hell? And David talks about how they just wanted to put art in like real life circumstances, where it's just like it would be funny to see him like doing laundry. And that's just hilarious. And there's a part in the movie when he's just like getting a glass of water in the whatever her name is, the Sienna's friend's house. He's just there at the sink. He's just getting a glass of water. Like he's not always trying to kill people. Sometimes he's just trying to do laundry and
I want to see him go to his 9-to-5 job at some point and like it's like
in his mask.
Yeah.
Because like we only see him on Halloween or around Halloween. We don't see him the other, months of the year.
Yeah.
So what's he doing? What's this guy up to?
And we got to see him drive around a little bit. That was cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that part was creepy too. When the little Terrifier little girl is talking on the phone like the boy. She like has his voice. That part was pretty creepy. I like that. She was overall just really creepy.
Yeah, she was.
She did a good
When I
job.
first saw her, I was like, was that like his daughter like before? Like, because you don't like you just see you just see her. You don't have any context of who she is until a little bit later in the movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, are we getting a backstory on Art? Like, he had a daughter and she was just as psychotic as he is.
But yeah, so like her character is interesting. Like, okay, are we going to learn more about her? Because it seems like they gave us like a little nugget of info on like who she is, but like, why is she helping Art? Why is she a part of his? What are their plans? Like, are they seeking out certain people? It seems like they are.
Yeah.
And then why was there these drawings? In the the father's sketchbook and stuff.
Yeah, why was Dad drawing pictures of Art?
Yeah,
But,
So,
what was that about?
And what's up with Sienna? She has like these like powers or something. She's some sort of like, I think they were trying to do some like angel stuff with her. And yeah, I don't know. There's definitely some curiosity there.
Yeah.
With
that sword brought her back to life.
Sword.
Yeah.
And something I liked, and this is like just little things. So she has that dream, which that dream sequence was pretty funny too. That went a little long, I would say. That dream sequence did go a little long. But I
that.
feel
like there's gonna be so much more to that in further movies.
The Clown Cafe. And I don't think that's just random. There's more to that. But anyway, so she goes, through that dream sequence, and then in it, Art is like basically setting everybody on fire and stuff. And she wakes up to a fire being set like on her dresser with the like sword right there.
Yeah.
And
her wings are on fire.
Yeah, her wings are on fire. And later on in the movie, when she's telling her friend about it, she's like, I had this dream and it was fire, and then I woke up and there's fire. Like, she's thinking her dream is like causing this fire. But her friend is like, well, why don't we look at like the more like logical explanation of maybe the fire was, this caught on fire and then it went into your dream because you were hearing it or feeling the warmth.
Yeah.
And I was like, that never happens in horror movies. They never
logical.
They never like snap the character back into logic, and we know that that's not what happened. Yeah, and so I didn't even think of that as.
I totally thought of that.
Oh, did you?
That was exactly what was in my mind.
Okay, yeah, I didn't even think of that.
I was trying to whisper it to you, but we were in the theater. But yeah,
I didn't even think, because we didn't see it that way, and so as like for a writer, you don't have to like have a character bring logic to it. You can just have a character say no, like,
it's nice when they do, though.
Yeah.
When she said that, I was like, see? And because I was totally thinking it.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't thinking it. And then when they said it, I was like, oh, that makes sense. That's not correct, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I like that, a character brought that to the movie.
Well, and there isn't really a definitive answer of whether that is correct or not.
Well, I'm pretty sure we see it catch on fire, don't we?
No, she wakes up and it's already on
fire. Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. We don't see it actually catch on fire.
Okay. I thought she like woke up and then it burst into flames. It was already.
It was.
Okay. Yeah, it was already on fire.
Yeah. And so there isn't
Yeah, I guess that could be
a
what
clear,
happened then. Yeah.
and especially at that part of the movie,
Yeah.
we don't know yet.
Yeah.
Like, is this, are we gonna follow Sienna's thinking in this, or are we gonna follow
logic?
The other chick.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I wish I could remember her name. She was.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I just loved her.
Yeah.
And
then there's the other friend who gives her some Molly in her drink.
Yeah. And this is the thing. She has the potential of being like a super obnoxious, really frustrating character.
Yeah.
And while she is a really crappy friend, she still, to me at least, her character did not piss me off. Like, it was not annoying and ridiculous to me. Again, because of that writing, because the way she spoke, the lines she said were like a real person. It wasn't like fake lines. Yeah, I just loved the interactions.
Was there.
Yeah.
They did seem like friends. And, I could see, a teenager thinking, oh, cheer up my friend, give her this, to let her have a good time or whatever. Like, I could see a stupid...
Yeah, especially like a teenager that is into doing Molly and Coke and whatever. And like even with the cookie where she's like, here, you want a piece of my Molly Brown cookie or whatever? Like, I don't know. It was just... It seemed like real people having real conversation.
Right.
My gosh.
I totally agree with that. It's the chemistry was good throughout, like all the characters really.
Yeah.
Even Sienna and Jonathan had good chemistry as brother and sister.
Yeah.
And so I kind of want to talk about the mom kill because I was kind of bummed that she died that way, just because I kind of wanted her to like live a little longer, to be like, oh yeah, Jonathan's not crazy, and this is actually, but she dies still thinking he's like, he's a little insane, he's a little crazy. It's like it just happens all of a sudden too. It's just like gunshot to the face, like as soon as she's wiping off the.
He has like a cannon.
Yeah.
It was a sawed-off shotgun.
Like super.
Yeah, I think it was a shotgun. Yeah, but it was
it's like this little short thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of figured she might die in it, but I was like, I was hoping that she was gonna live long enough to be like, oh, I'm, my son's not insane, and
you
this is all
that
happening.
Resolve.
Yeah.
I wanted it. I didn't need it, but I wanted it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you didn't get that, Joel.
Well, and then you get a good part where Art is like, he makes some dinner for her. He comes out with his little bell and his little apron on, and he stuffs mashed potatoes in her hole over her face.
I know that they talked about that in the interview afterwards about how classic and like just mean that was. I was like, I could have gone either way with that scene or not,
I thought it was funny.
But yeah.
Yeah.
You boys all think it's so funny.
I didn't like the character very much. I thought she was a little bit on the mean side for for Jonathan.
Mean one.
But
she and was to Sienna. She was
But she did, when Sienna said that she loved her, she definitely did warm up a lot.
There was a couple of parts when I was starting to like her, and I think that was the point.
Well, the thing was is and they gave a little bit of information with the best friend and whatever to help us understand like what happened with Dad.
Yeah.
That she has been through trauma herself with her dad, with her husband having this brain tumor, turning into this totally different person, being abusive, not just with her, but also to Sienna and everything. Like, and then knowing that her son is now obsessing over the same things that his dad was obsessing over. Like, that put fear in her and took her back to the trauma. And so she wasn't thinking with her own mind.
When Sienna says that she loves her, she kind of softens. And also when Sienna first shows her, like, her outfit when she's about to leave, she's, like, kind of criticizing it or whatever. And then before she goes, she says, Dad would have loved it. Then it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, she's got her own thing, her own, issues she's struggling with. But I mean, that's another reason I wanted her to live longer, because if she can believe Jonathan was telling the truth all along, then maybe her husband wasn't going crazy. Like, maybe there was something else going on with him that might have been important for her to know before she dies.
Joel, I believe that she can still see what's happening now. And she's looking down on them. She's going to be a ghost
in the third Terrifier 3.
She's looking down on them and realizing.
She's learning.
Well, I wanted to know that myself.
I'm telling you right now.
See that in her.
It's officially written.
Well, and I think she had to die for the end, because Sienna, like, realizes that she died, and then that's what, like, motivates her more. That kind of, like, almost like gives her more power or something to finish off, or
to save her brother.
Okay, let's talk about the very end.
The end credits scene.
Credits. So that's when Chris Jericho shows up finally.
I was like, I know this guy was in this movie. Did I miss him? Like, was he in that? Like, I'm like, no. I know what the guy looks like. I did not miss this.
I will say, and I'm sorry, Chris, if you're listening to the episode.
That'd be awesome if he was.
I'm sure he is. I'm sorry. I love your work, and that was definitely the worst acting in the movie.
His acting?
Was Chris Jericho's acting.
Yeah.
I mean,
he didn't really have to act much.
Yeah.
He didn't have
but like hey, can you hand me like an eyeball and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know. Oh, yeah, my wife made it. And the dialogue between
comedy.
them.
It was for comedy.
Yes, and it was. But the dialogue between them seemed the least like genuine dialogue that would happen, you know?
Well, they're just coworkers. There's not supposed to be chemistry between them. Like, it's just, maybe they don't really get along. Like, it's just,
he's just trying to gross her out.
They just have to talk to each other because they're the only ones there.
And because they're being filmed.
Yeah.
This is real life, Katrina. It's not a movie.
I thought it went well with what was happening, though. Like, I liked how they went kind of back and forth. Like, you're hearing Chris Jericho talk about this, like, meal, this, like, thing that his wife made that's all like guts and eyeballs and all this while this other chick is in this room just going crazy. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then you're thinking of like the other lady that's there, like he's talking all about this gross stuff, and it's like she's like, I don't want to hear this.
Yeah. I wouldn't have minded Chris Jericho having like a musical number.
He should have done the clown.
The clown,
cafe.
yes, I know. I thought like having him be like, "Wait, I know this song," and him start busting it out.
Oh yeah,
because
she was whistling it. Or whatever, right?
And like
him
like like rocking it, you know, like Fozzie style.
That'll be on the next soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, what'd you guys think of the end and like the final shot?
The final shot. Well, this is the thing. The part that bugged me was what's her name? Veronica? Victoria.
Yeah.
Victoria plus art or
Yeah.
loves art or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, what? Like, why?
Yeah.
But then I'm like, no, as I'm thinking about it, it's like she does decide to join him. Does she? I don't know. When did it become like her and Art in love kind of thing? Like,
well,
that
we don't
was
know
weird.
what was happening for the whole year that she was in the the hospital.
Yeah.
She was in the hospital
Yeah.
for a year. She gets out and then she murders this TV
Well,
host.
and she's doing the show.
Yeah.
And then, because what the story we get is that she did the whole interview, and then it was after the interview, apparently she had, the interviewer had said something that upset her, and then she kills her.
Yeah.
But maybe that was the plan the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe she wanted to go on this show to talk about Art. Bring him back to...
Well, and...
top of mind for people.
To people's minds, and...
Like Freddy.
And she was
Can't forget about him.
kind of distracting the world with her
thing.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows? I mean, this is another thing that's like, okay, I'm curious about how they are connected, like, and why she just gave birth to his head.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah. That was like a little much.
That was creepy too. The very end when she's laughing and his mouth is moving like he's laughing at the same time. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Yeah. It was just so over the top that, oh, your phone just vibrated. Joel, did that happen?
I know it did, you crazy woman.
I'm telling you, I can hear it all.
Wow.
Who is it, Joel?
Oh man, it was like a Facebook notification. So, nothing important, but wow.
Sorry.
You need to turn down your microphones or your headphones.
I know. Anyway, it was too over the top that I couldn't find too much enjoyment in that part.
All right. I thought it was
maybe it's being a woman and I know what it feels like to give birth, and I'm like, this is too much. I don't know.
Give birth to a head that
and like she's pulling her like intestines out. Like it's not like it's an umbilical cord or something. That she's like pulling her intestines out. Like, what is happening here?
So
she can just push those back in. It's fine.
I know.
What'd you think of that, Joel?
Man.
That part.
It was a little over the top, and I was wondering how they're going to go about bringing him back.
Yeah,
because like he's headless at this point, like, which we didn't talk about, that whole like Sienna dying and then coming back from the sword.
Yeah,
the magic sword brought her back to life, and she was able to. She did some chopping to Art there.
Yeah, it was
before
a few chops it took
before cutting his head off. So it was like, all right, how are we continuing this franchise? And the simple thing of just giving birth to him again. It just
there we go.
Just his head though.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the rest
like
of
his
him
full
will grow
grown
back.
head. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that she will have the rest of him.
Well,
full and ready.
Yeah, we don't know what brought him back in the first place. All we know is that he just came back. Like, And the last one, the lights were...
Because he killed himself. He shot himself
Yeah.
in the head in the first movie. So
Yeah. The lights were flickering and everything. And then
Yeah.
in this one, we hear like all this like electricity or something coming from a different room right at the beginning when he walks out. So
yeah.
I'm guessing it takes place like immediately after the first one.
It does.
That part.
Yeah.
But we don't like, we just don't know, enough to know like, how is he coming back? Like, I mean, the description says some sort of, what was it?
Just vibrated again.
Some like sinister entity like brings him back or whatever, but
Yeah.
we don't know what that means or
Yeah, we still don't know what this sinister entity is.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
we haven't seen this thing yet. So
It's whatever was in their dad's head, though.
Yeah.
Like that tumor,
Yeah.
so-called tumor,
Right.
was not what they think.
Yeah. Something about that. Something about his like imagination.
Yeah,
or,
somehow. Well, he was having visions, I
Yeah.
think. Like, and
was he a wizard of some sort? Because that sword was glowing.
Yeah. Yeah.
The sword that
Yeah.
he made Sienna was glowing.
Yeah.
And before she came back to life,
Yeah.
which is what
Yeah.
brought her back to life. So like,
Yeah. She was kind of like
is this
Xena,
like a
the warrior
good
princess?
Yeah.
yeah, well, and it seems like he somehow figured out how to beat this entity.
Yeah.
And then, did he really kill himself? Or did the entity actually kill him before he was able to tell her this is what the sword is for?
Yeah,
Because
maybe
like,
it's like
he gave her the sword.
like a malignant kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like
I don't know.
Maybe it was his
Because
twin.
he drove his car all crazy off the...
I was wondering where you were going to go with it.
Yeah, with the tumor.
Theory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the tumor.
It's,
It's another person driving.
the
him off.
yeah, the tumor is actually the darkness.
Yeah.
Or the light, I guess, because it brings people back to life. I don't know. Maybe the dad is the light, and we still haven't met the darkness yet. So
Yeah.
this
Maybe
franchise
the dad
could go
is
in a
art.
very weird direction.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It could. Yeah. It can go
Yeah.
in many different places, and we will.
I hope
see.
they don't get too
Well, 'cause-
ridiculous with it. But
Yeah. But the other thing is like the dad clearly wasn't himself
Yeah.
the whole time that he had this tumor. Like, he was so abusive to Sienna. And... and he wasn't abusive like that her whole childhood.
Yes, something changed.
And so, it wasn't him that was abusive to her.
Yeah.
I was wondering that too halfway through the movie. I was like, is Art actually the dad? Because even at the end, he doesn't kill Jonathan. He kidnaps him.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
he kills everybody else, but he doesn't.
In his foot.
Well, at the end there. I don't know what that was all about.
It's funny. He was trying to wake him up. He's like snapping, clapping at him. And he like lifts
I'm
his
just gonna start
arm
eating
and
him.
drops his arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I was
they
like, is
start eating
he? Yeah. I mean, that'll do it. If anything will wake you up,
Yeah.
someone eating you is probably going to do it.
Yeah.
But it was just like, I was just like thinking, is this actually, because it could be,
I know.
They could not know what he looks like because he's all painted up and his mime clown outfit.
Well,
so it's
Yeah.
That would be quite a twist.
And
yeah,
it might
I am your
not-
father.
Yeah.
Hasn't been done before.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's an uncle, or he's got to be something to this.
There's
to this
some
family,
connection.
because the dad was making, like, he was drawing pictures of him. Like,
Yeah.
how do you know who Art looks like? How do you know Art?
Right. Well,
Yeah,
was
but
drawing
he
pictures
also-
of the other people that Art killed too.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
not just
yeah.
pictures, but he had like the clippings
Yeah.
of the girl
Yeah.
who then
The little girl.
is the little girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The little girl who was the little girl.
Well, the girl who was killed
Yeah.
then comes back as the little mini Art.
Yeah.
Who
They just let her walk away.
they can only see, though.
Yeah.
Only Jonathan and Sienna have been able to
Yes.
see the little girl. So is
And
she
Art.
somebody too?
Yeah.
Like, and yeah. Well, everyone can see Art, but only them have been able to see the little girl. I'm pretty sure. I don't.
Well, no, I mean, Art can see.
Oh, and Art
the
can
little
see too. Yeah.
Yeah. That part in the laundry bag.
Oh my
he's-
gosh, that
he's
was
sitting
so
there
great.
naked with his mask still on though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got the
And he's
newspaper.
playing like
patty cake.
cake with her and everything. Yeah, that was so
What
great.
the heck? Oh, man,
man.
it's so funny.
Are you moving in your chair?
I am. Yes.
See,
You have
okay,
some
I am.
psychic abilities.
Man, I'm gonna have to listen to this in post.
Well, no, it's just this. I think. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see how it
I think
sounds.
I was
on
making like too
Apple
much noise.
I don't know. And it's funny because Danny can at least like see my expression where I'm just like,
yeah,
What's
it's
happening?
like see her trying to hear something.
Trying to figure it out.
Yeah, she's like listening
and I'm like
intently.
looking around and
And I'm like, I'm just talking. Like, I'm right here. Like, why are you
Yeah.
looking everywhere?
Oh man.
Well,
Hopefully, other people's headphones aren't as crazy as yours seem to be.
yeah, dang.
I'm sorry in advance for people that are like,
Yeah.
what is going on?
Like driving right now, like off road.
well, because at one point
See
it
an
sounded
airplane?
like there was like someone behind you, like
Wow.
running to you.
Wow.
Oh, that's not a creepy thing to.
Yeah, it
Hear it all.
was. It was. Right when we were talking about Blair Witch. No, I'm sure.
All right. You guys have anything else to add to this, or are we done?
I think we're
No.
done.
I think
just,
we're done. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just hope we get Terrifier 3 within the next
we
couple
will.
years and
Yeah.
not within the next 6.
That was the other thing.
But it was a pandemic. That was
Yeah.
the main thing there.
Yeah.
We would have gotten the next 4. So
Yeah.
I guess 4 years is better
Well,
than 6.
2018,
But still,
I think
2016 is when it
was
came out.
2016. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, that was something I wanted to mention. This movie has, I mean, we kind of touched on it, but this movie has blown up big time.
Yes, it has, which is incredible.
Yeah, it was
It's
in a
great for the horror
limited
genre.
theater run, unrated, uncut. Like this is a movie that nobody would touch, like for just mainstream audience. They were lucky enough to get it in limited theater release, just based off of the horror fans that know about it. But then the word of mouth just really took off, and then there were a couple of articles written about and stuff posted on social media about people fainting and
Yeah, well,
passing out and-
and what's that show that we saw at the Chinese restaurant? The voice, not the voice.
Oh, the Talk.
The Talk?
There's
Is
a
that what
show,
it's called?
The Talk, yeah. That's on. It's like a daytime talk
And-
show.
Yeah, and
It's
they
like
were
The
talking
View,
about
but
it there.
not.
Yes, it's like The View.
Yeah.
It's like almost just like The View.
Yeah.
And they were talking about it on there because the guy went and saw it with his kids.
yeah, he was going.
Oh, wow, okay. Hopefully the kids are
What's the
his-
guy?
not too young.
Something Connolly.
Oh, Jerry O'Connell? He was
Jerry O'Connell. Yeah, he was in Scream 2.
He was in Scream 2.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was stoked
The
about
boyfriend.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
on that show, and he was super excited about it. So it got
It was-
publicity there for free.
It was
Yeah.
mentioned apparently on the Drew Barrymore show as well. She mentioned it, and
Oh.
Drew Barrymore
also
has a show.
yeah, she's had a show for
Okay.
a couple years,
I didn't know that.
as well as the Howard Stern show mentioned it too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I could see Howard
And-
Stern mentioning it.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
He's a
So
little
it's-
risque.
It's in the New York Times today. There's an article. In
It's
the New
being
York Times.
it's being considered for Oscars.
I know.
So
Are you serious?
yeah,
For the effects, makeup effects, and stuff.
Yeah,
Wow.
which is amazing.
Yeah.
If this is nominated, Pearl has to be nominated for something because that's. But yeah, so
I
it's
haven't seen Pearl, but I
it's-
vote this better.
it's just awesome to see that like movies, like lower budget horror movies, horror especially because horror is never considered for any sort of like awards, like the Oscars or whatever. So to hear that this is considered for Oscars for certain categories is really cool. Like it's really the horror genre is finally getting the attention it deserves.
Yeah.
It is definitely trending.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
Especially this month.
Oh man, I gotta mention one more thing. Sienna is a great final girl.
Oh,
yeah, she is.
Yeah.
I like her, yeah.
Yeah, she did really good acting, but also like just like the fight scenes and stuff, and she's like, fighting back and it's just, I don't know, it was really good. She's not a final girl that just runs away and, screaming and, all that.
Exactly.
She's a fighter. So.
Well, she's the chosen one. Her sword was lighting up and, it's... But yeah, if it hadn't been for that sword, like, she wouldn't be considered a final girl, because she would have been dead. Right. But I'm hoping that she comes back for future movies. She has to, because her whole family dynamic is still, like, kind of a mystery here. So.
Yeah, she definitely is going to be she'll be back. She'll be there. Mm-hmm. The other part that, like, I noticed with that scene of her coming back that maybe is a little artistic and whatever, but like I thought it was interesting that it was in water. There's this thing that's wrapping around her like a snake kind of thing or octopus, whatever. And then the area where she was stabbed that lights up is like where, like almost where the umbilical cord would be. It was like she was being reborn. Because like in water, amniotic fluids, whatever,
Oh, wow.
And it was like this rebirthing.
Okay. Why'd she have to be in water? Yeah. Why couldn't she just be laying there? Because she just like
fell into like...
Into what?
Water.
Yeah.
Like
into the set of the commercial.
Yeah.
And that she dreamed of.
Yeah.
That she was having a dream of in the beginning of the movie.
And then this thing is wrapped around her, like, I thought it was kind of cool.
All right. Yeah, you might be onto something there.
Oh,
I am. Okay. Let's end this.
Okay.
Go see the
Don't
movie
let
if you
the
haven't.
bed bugs bite. What is it?
Hold on. Go see the movie if you haven't seen it. If you're still listening, we just spoiled it all. But
yeah, I know. But you can still watch it. So.
You probably should have said go see it before.
Well, we gave it high ratings. So obviously.
We did, and everyone knows. Everyone in the horror community knows to watch this movie. So it's
everyone who's anyone has already seen the movie.
Exactly, that too.
And it's going to be on Screenbox on Halloween to stream if you didn't know.
Nice.
So you can watch it on Halloween, and find us on Facebook, on Instagram, and Twitter, and
Apple Podcasts and anywhere else you get your podcasts.
Yeah, we're on YouTube and TikTok as well.
TikTok, Joel's doing his TikToking.
We're blowing up on the tick.
Oh yeah, we've gained about 30 followers since the last time we did a podcast.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's because I was on it.
Could be.
You are welcome, guys.
All right, that's it. This has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let
the bed bugs
No, not the bed bugs.
There were no bed bugs in this movie.
Don't let Art's rebirthed head bite.
Oh my gosh, that's a little.